Hi guys, it's me, Rachel. I'm back with another video, and for this video I was going to do a 25 facts about me because I just want you guys to be able to get to know who I am a little bit more as a person, things that I like, or just interesting facts about me. And if you'll excuse the empty picture frames on the wall, I just moved and I haven't gotten around to putting any picture frames up. So if you're like, hey, why do you have empty picture frames on the wall? That's why, because I just moved and haven't gotten around to doing that yet. So, okay, anyway, here are 25 facts about me. Number 1, I am a Christian and my faith is very important to me. And I put that as number 1 because I want it to be the number 1 thing that people remember about me is my faith in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. Number 2, I was born in Tampa Bay, Florida on an island. So the only way to get to the hospital was over a bridge. My parents, when they were young and in love and had just gotten married, they moved to Florida. My dad had always wanted to live in Florida. So they moved to Florida and were there for about 10 years. And during that time, they had me. And when I was born, we moved back to Ohio because they wanted me to grow up around my family. Number 3, I am 31 years old. Number 4, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter who is the light of my life and my entire world. 5, country music is my all-time favorite, aside from Christian and worship, obviously, but I've always loved country. I grew up on country, like the 80s and 90s, like George Strait and Tim McGraw and all of them. So that's just my favorite, all-time favorite type of music. I'm open to other kinds for different things, but country will always be my number 1 favorite. Number 6, I once went on a missions trip to Guatemala for almost 2 weeks, and it was one of the best experiences of my life, just to be able to see a third world country and help those people and minister the gospel to them while helping them with their physical, tangible needs as well. And just seeing a third world country, it changes your perspective on, when we say we struggle with things or we're struggling financially, we really have more than a lot of other people in this world. Number 7, I actually know how to drive stick shift pretty well. I learned a few years ago, and it's just like riding a bicycle for me, like if I ever have to. The car that I have now is automatic, and I don't know if I would ever buy my own stick shift, but I do know how. Okay, so I lost count, but we're just gonna roll with it. The next one is I love roller skating. I have skated since I was probably 4 to 5 years old. I just fell in love with the sport, and I just have gotten pretty good at it. I can go fast and backwards and everything. So, and I actually enjoy going still, where a lot of people think that roller skating has kind of died off. It hasn't. There's still enough people out there who love it and are passionate about it. So I really enjoy roller skating in my free time. The next one is I absolutely love coffee. I am kind of obsessed. I have to have coffee every single morning. I enjoy trying new kinds of coffee and just different drinks and stuff. So I really enjoy coffee. The next fact is I actually got to go to New York at Christmas time. It was always one of my biggest dreams, and it happened a few years ago, and it was the most magical thing I've ever experienced. It was so gorgeous. Like, just like you see in the movies, that's how it was. Like, there were lights everywhere, and the Christmas tree. We skated at Rockefeller Center, and it was just, it was a dream come true. So I have been to New York at Christmas time. The next one is fall is my favorite season. I know a lot of people say that, but it really is true. I love everything about fall. I love bonfires and hay rides and apple cider and, just the feeling of it, and sweater weather and candles and the scents and just everything. And it's literally yesterday the heat index was 105 in Ohio. So I'm just like dreaming about fall. The next fact is that I am an only child. My parents wanted more children, but it just, it wasn't God's plan for their life. And so I am an only child. I love succulents, just cactuses or pretty little succulents. I have multiple real ones throughout my house, and I'm not as good at taking care of like flowers and things like that, but succulents are a lot less maintenance, so I can keep them alive longer, and I love the way they look, and they just make me happy. I am 5'5". Next is that I am terrified of spiders and heights, and I know those are very common fears or phobias, but they're common for a reason because spiders just give me, I don't know. I don't think anything needs 8 legs or more. I don't think anything needs more than 4 legs, but so I do not like spiders. I will kill a spider. People that, want to save them and take them outside, whatever, I will crush that little spider and not feel bad about it. And then heights, I don't know what it is. I can be completely safe. Like, I can know that I'm safe on a roller coaster. I mean, the odds of getting hurt by a roller coaster or a plane crashing or things like that, like those just aren't real things. Like, you have a much higher chance of, dying in a car accident than in a plane or a roller coaster. But yet I'm not afraid to get in the car, and I'm terrified to go on a roller coaster or in a plane. So I don't know, but yeah, definitely not doing heights or spiders. Next is that when I was right out of high school, my appendix actually ruptured inside of me. And most people say when you have appendicitis, you need to get to the hospital. It's an emergency because your appendix is about to rupture. Well, mine already had. I had gangrene in my stomach. It was, the doctors were like, this doesn't look good. So they almost had to cut out part of my lower intestine, but, I have a praying family and a church family who was praying for me, and, I came out just fine. They didn't have to remove any of my intestine, and the antibiotics treated everything, and in a couple weeks I was back to normal. The next fact is that I don't really drink pop anymore at all. I used to drink pop all the time, but recently I have been trying to drink more water, and that in turn makes me crave more water. And so I don't really crave pop as much. I mean, I'll have like a Sprite or something if it's like a special event or a cookout or whatever, but I don't buy it. It's never in my house. I do occasionally get the LaCroix just as a treat, but I don't ever actually buy pop. Next is that Mexican food is my all-time favorite food. Like, I love Mexican food, especially authentic Mexican restaurants. Like, there's one in my town, and it is so good. I just love like the chips and salsa and quesadillas and burritos and tacos, and it's just like my favorite type of food, like Italian, Mexican, Indian, whatever, but Mexican is my favorite. I ran my first 5K in this past May, so like about 2 months ago, and I'm not entirely in the best shape, but I have been working out consistently and regularly, and I averaged about a 15-minute mile, I think. So for my first 5K, my church actually put it on. I was proud of myself. So, and my expectations were actually, a slower time than that. So I was really proud of myself, but that was a fun experience, and I definitely want to do more in the future. Next is that I have one cat. He is actually, you can kind of see him. He's right up there. He's part Maine Coon. He's a little ball of fluff, and he is so sweet and so cuddly and loving, and he's my second child, and he's adorable, and I love him. Next is I have 2 tattoos. I have a cross that's on my the back of my right shoulder, and it's just like a cross, and it has 2 roses at the base of it. And then I have a few stars on my wrist that I got when I was in college. So I have 2 tattoos. Next is that my mom's due date was actually on Christmas Eve. So my birthday is December 18th. I was a week premature, but her actual due date was Christmas. So that would have been kind of cool, but kind of not, because as a kid, you're like, you know, I only get presents on this one day and have to wait a whole year to get more presents. But as an adult, I think it would have been really cool. So my mom's due date was on Christmas. The next kind of weird fact about me is that I actually enjoy cleaning. I mean, I don't do it for fun, like in my free time. I'm not like, oh, I just want to go clean something. But when I'm doing it, I love the satisfaction that you feel after something is clean. So like if I'm gonna relax or take a bubble bath or just relax or do something, it's hard for me to enjoy that relaxed time if I know I have cleaning to do. So I think I enjoy the feeling of something being cleaned afterwards, but I never have a problem cleaning or doing anything like that. Next is that the beach is my favorite place in the entire world, particularly at night. I'm just sitting on the beach and hearing the waves, and it's just, I don't know, you're just so close to nature and just God's creation and everything. And the beach is a very sentimental place for me and my family. We've always gone there, and I just have a lot of memories there with family members who have passed away. So, and we actually got to go this summer. I got to take my daughter for the first time. So that was a really special trip to get to share that with her. And we actually have a destination that we normally go to. So that particular place, it's just always been a special place for me. Lastly, I'm hoping this is 25. I had them wrote down, and I'm hoping I got to 25. But the last fact is that I have broken 2 bones. When I was a kid, I broke my arm. This girl and my dad played softball when I was younger, and this girl and I were up on the playground by the park, and we were playing, and I don't even remember exactly what happened, but I remember, I think I fell off the monkey bars, like the one that you swing across. I was going to it and I slipped, and I don't know, I just went to brace myself and catch myself, and I broke my arm. But the funny story with that is that my parents didn't know that I broke that arm for almost a week, because I don't know if it didn't bother me, because I typically don't have a high pain tolerance. I'm kind of a baby about things. So the fact that they didn't know, I'm just I don't understand why. But yeah, they didn't know for a week. And then I played fast pitch softball in high school. And I was warming up with one of the fellow teammates, and my glove was like this, and she threw the ball, and it literally tipped the top of my glove and just crushed my nose in, and it was just blood was everywhere, and I fell to my knees, and I had dried blood on my glove the rest of the season, that it stained my glove. It was so bad. I had the raccoon, I had raccoon bruises right there, and the whole rest of the season I had to wear a plastic face guard, because I guess if you break it twice, it can be pretty bad. So I had to wear that. And then in my high school yearbook, there is still a picture of me. I guess our photographer was at the game, one of the games when I had that on, and I'm actually in the yearbook with my plastic face guard on. But I toughed it out. I was like, Coach, I want to play. I don't, and I wasn't able to finish that. I wasn't allowed to finish that game, but I wanted to play, and but it was awful. Yeah. And I had bruises for a month. Okay, guys, that was 25 facts about me. I hope it wasn't too boring, but I hope it was entertaining, and that you got to know me a little bit more, and just some fun things about me. If you have any video ideas, leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe. My channel is very new, just a very new channel. So any any people that would subscribe, if you want to subscribe, click the red button. So, all right, well, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Okay, bye guys.